So we are on Daf Yomi Sanhedrin Aleph, 2 lines from the top. Tanra Rabbanan. Hiku asar bnei adam b'asar maklis ames. 10 people went around the guy and hit him with 10 sticks, and the guy died. And whether they hit him all at one time, or each of them hit him in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all hit him. And then the last guy killed him. The Tanakama holds Pturin, his pater. They're all pater. In the second case, where they hit him sequentially, then the last guy who hit him, and he died after that, he'll be chayiv, because he made his misa come faster. What's going on over here? What's the mismach like this? So Amar Rav Yochanan says, both the Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, are darshaning the same pasuk. The pasuk says, "V'ish ki yaka kol nefesh adam." When a person hits another kol nefesh adam, all the soul of a person. That's a little translation. And the pasuk is Moshe Yumas. He gets killed, right? That's herod. So Rabbanan hold. What's the meaning when it says kol nefesh? It's an extra word. It doesn't have to say kol nefesh. It means ad ikka kol nefesh. The person who hit and who killed the guy and is going to get killed himself has to have killed the whole nefesh of the person. Not in this case where a bunch of people contributed to
the last person to kill, the last stream.
But all of them start. What if just the last person would have hit him? It wouldn't have died, right? It was cumulative because all of them hit him. Right?
Last thing of the sunk ship. Last guy pulled the thing.
That's true. But there's a differentiation in a case between when the last guy did his thing, it would have happened, the sink would have sunk, or if the last guy would have done it, the sink would not have sunk. The ship, would not have sunk.
You know when it sunk, you'll know.
Yeah, could be. So this guy died, right? Yeah. And we're saying that the case is such that the last guy alone wouldn't have killed him. But the last guy after the 9 people before him, that did kill him. And certainly in the case where all 10 hit him at once, where no single person did something to kill him. Right? So therefore they're all going to be pater.
Someone less than Shavuot, a whole gang, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A similar concept. Yeah. That's what Rabbanan hold. Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira holds that the last guy is going to be chayiv. He holds kol nefesh, kol duhu nefesh. The guy who takes a little bit of the nefesh, but he's the one that made him. Yeah, even though it was only a little nefesh left, still he's the one who's going to be chayiv. But when a bunch of people hit him all at once, then Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira will be masking to the Tanakama that he's pater, because it says Rashi says. The pasuk says v'ish ki yaka, when a man hits another person, not when many men all together hit a person. Okay. Amar Rav says, Hakol Moedim, the Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, they both agree that Bahirikas a treifa shu pater, that someone who kills a treifa is pater. The geisis b'tei shemayim shu chayiv, and somebody calls a geisis b'tei shemayim is chayiv. What's going on over here? Harigas a treifa means that you kill a person who is going to die. He's going to die because
you can still sell an animal as treifa, no?
Yeah, we're talking about a person. Just
right. How's the person going to treat that?
Person has a makkah that he's going to die from. He has a punctured lung or something. Similar, similar to what the case by treifa by an animal, right? Why would he check the lungs by an animal? Because we know it's going to die soon if it has a puncture in the lungs, right? And that's not kosher, right? Over here also, there are certain sicknesses that a person could have, a makkahs that a person could get that would make him a treifa. So that's everyone's masked these pater. The geis b'tei shemayim shu chayiv. And the case of geis b'tei shemayim, where somebody is ill.
Because of Hashem, not because of his
right. So nobody came and gave him a makkah like by the treifa that caused, or by the treifa maybe he fell and hurt something, his rib punctured his lung, right? That can kill a person. Right, so nobody came and did anything. He got the face of COVID, right, or cancer or something like that, and now he's dying. And the guy says that he is, that everyone agrees that they're going to be, that person. If a person kills that person, the Hari will be chayiv. Why will the Hari be chayiv? Because there was no action that would have caused his misa beforehand. Just this guy did something. right? So all the misa is attributed to this guy's action. But in the case of a treifa, there was an action that caused the guy's death. The fact that he fell and punctured his lung, that's causing his death. And the fact that this other guy came and made it happen faster, he already is killing somebody who's dead already. So there's a qualitative difference between somebody who got sick and is going to die, and somebody who got some sort of wound and is going to die. Somebody who got some sort of wound and is going to die is a treifa, and that's like what we say a dead man walking, and a person who kills him is not going to be chayiv. In the case of somebody who's sick, even though we know he's going to die, that's not a treifa. It's not one of the things that's called treifa. And then since there was no action but this person's action who went and killed him and he didn't finish them off, right, that person will be chayiv. Okay? So Rashi explains that why does Rava say that everyone's maida? Because they're arguing they're arguing in the case that's between these two cases, which is the case of when 10 people hit him and the last one killed him, right? So this is the case between those two cases. That's the Gemara is going to explain why it's between, but that's all. I'm just underlining why Rava could say everyone agrees by these two extreme cases. But the case in the middle, that's where they're arguing. So Hakol Ma'adim Ha'Hereg a Treif Shu Pater. B'Gais B'Nei Shemayim Shu Chayiv. Like Nechelku, where does the Rabbanan Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda argue, and Rabbi Yehuda and Sarah argue? Ela B'Gais B'Nei Adam, where there's a Gais B'Nei Adam. Gais B'Nei Adam means that something happened to him by another person that's causing him to be dying. Yeah. One man, the Amar, compares him to treifa and says that he's like a treifa, and if somebody kills him, they'll be pater. That's the Tanakama. Omar Madami Lein Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira is Madami Lein L'Gais B'Nei Shemayim to Gais B'Nei Shemayim, and therefore, if a person kills him, will be chayiv. The one who's medamim to treifa, the Rabbanan who says pater, my time medamim Gais B'Nei Shemayim. How come they're not medamim to Gais B'Nei Shemayim and say you're chayiv? Because Gais B'Nei Shemayim lo yisav b'maisa. How yisav b'maisa? The Gais B'Nei Shemayim had no maisa done to him, but this guy had a maisa done to him. The one who compares him to Gais B'Nei Shemayim, that's Rabbi Yehuda who says you're chayiv. My time the last guy's chayiv. My time treifa. Why is he not medamim to treifa? Treifa mechatchi simanim. The treifa, he has the visual, not visual. It's physical. There's a physical wound that causes him to be treifa. Here, the guy's just getting beaten, and a person gets beaten enough, he's going to die. But he's not. Doesn't have one of the simani tarfas. Okay, that's that Gemara. Now we're not done with the Gemara yet. Tani Tana Kamid Rav Sheshes v'ish ki yaka kol nefesh adam lahavi amakas chaver ve'im begdei lahamas v'achar misa chayiv. The Tana said in front of Sheshes, the pasuk says, "Ishki yaka kol nefesh adam." This is the same pasuk we brought before. Lahavi, it's coming to be marba hamakas chaver ve'im begdei lahamas. If somebody hits his friend, but it's not enough to kill him. Uba achar ve'misa, another guy came and finished off the job. Shu chayiv, that he's going to be chayiv. In other words, it's a stam brisa like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. Same sheet as Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. In fact, the Gemara, if it's not enough, the first guy killed him. The first guy hit him, but it wasn't enough to kill him. If it's pasha, he's going to be pater. Why does the Bryce have to say he's pater?
He died.
And not only did he die, it's not enough to kill him. Don't forget, we said this yesterday. We discussed the concept that in Misa, if a person hits somebody in such a way that it's not enough to kill a regular person, but in this particular case, it happened to kill him, right? You're pater, right? It's exeris akasim. B'dei Shemayim, the Rebbeinu Shalom will make sure that you got what's coming to you. But b'dei Adam, you're pater. So over here, the first guy that he didn't hit him b'dei lahamas, of course he's going to be pater. So what's the chiddush? What's the Bryce have to tell us? Anybody b'dei lahamas pshita. Ella yesh b'dei lahamas v'achra misa shu chayiv. The Gemara says, must be that we're talking about a case that the first guy hit him enough taka to kill him. But the second guy finished him off. That he's chayiv, Ustamak Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira, and it's a Stam Braisa like Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira. Okay, good. Amar Rava says, Herg is a treifa pater. Somebody who kills a treifa is going to be pater. That means, like we said before, since he is going to die anyway, and he already had this makkah that's causing him to die, so the person who killed him...
Is he blind right away, or a guy who's sitting?
No, he's walking around, but he's going to die.
6 months, a year?
I think this year is a year. Okay, but it's not a case. Of course, people all the time get sick and die. Somebody gets a stroke or a heart attack and he dies. Yeah. That's not a case of a treifa. The treifa is specific wounds. Wounds is not the right word for it.
Deficiency.
Yeah, but it's a specific laundry list of what they are that we know that a person or an animal can't survive.
The president had a kid who had 6 months to live for 6 years. So they saw the thing?
No.
So you didn't see the thing?
Just heard a little bit on the radio.
So the Democrats didn't stand up once.
That's not a surprise.
So it makes them so stupid.
Yeah, not to their people. Because they're people.
Off the charts.
Good? Okay, eventually I'll get around to reading it. I don't have the patience to listen to...
No, we're fast.
Huh?
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So somebody who's a treifa is going to die, and therefore, when somebody quote-unquote kills him, he killed somebody who's killed. As the Gemara Sprach, the Gemara says, Gavra Katila Katal, he killed somebody who's dead. Right? You can't kill somebody who's dead. Right? So therefore, somebody who's a treifa is going to be pater. Utreifa shaharag, and now let's see what happens. What happens if a treifa killed somebody? So the guy figures, look, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna go out in a blaze of glory, and he goes and kills the guy who he hates for all these years. So now, if he killed, what's the halacha? It's nafkamina where he killed. B'fnei bezdin chayiv. If he killed in front of bezdin, that means he did it in front. Bezdin was watching. Right. Not witnesses. In front of bezdin itself. Yeah. Then he's chayiv. No, I'll tell you. No, you're asking good. Hang on 1 second. Shalei b'fnei bezdin, but if he did it not in front of bezdin, pater is pater. B'fnei bezdin chayiv. Why is he chayiv in front of bezdin? The pasuk says, "We arta hara mikebecha." Bezdin is mechuyev to get rid of the bad. Bezdin saw him be a murderer. Bezdin kills him. Right. But shalei b'fnei bezdin pater. If it wasn't in front of bezdin, it's going to be pater, even with edim and asra and everything. No, there's edim and asra and everything, because they're going to be pater. He's going to be pater anyway. Why? Because of a chat. It's an edus that you can't be mazen. And an edus that you can't be mazen, it's not an edus. Because let's map out the scenario over here. You have Ruvain is the treifa. He killed Shimon. Okay? Levi and Yehuda, Reuven was a treifa, right? And he decides he's going to get his last licks on humanity. He's going to kill Shimon. Okay? He kills Shimon, and Levi and Yehuda saw it and gave Masra, said, "Don't do it. You're going to right." Okay. Now, two Eidim come into Bezdin. Yisachar and Zevulun come into Bezdin, and they say, "You, Levi and Yehuda, you said Reuven killed Shimon. Imanu Yisan, you were with us in Chicago, right?"
They say that,
right?
Prove it though.
They say you were with us in Chicago.
Not proof.
They don't need proof. There are two Eidim. Second pair of Eidim by Zayman will be believed. You were with us in Chicago, we were going bowling, and there's no way you were where you said you were watching Reuven kill Shimon. Okay, that's classic Eidim Zayman. So, what's the halacha of Levi and Yehuda, the first set of Eidim? They get kasher zamam. What's kasher zamam? What did they want to do to Reuven? They wanted to kill Reuven, right? Yeah. Can they kill Reuven? Reuven's dead already. Reuven's a treifa.
The whole thing falls apart.
The whole thing falls apart. It's an edus yat yachal azima. Their edus is not a good edus because you can't be mazim their edus.
Examine if you're edus in the second case.
Yeah.
They'll have someone saying you.
They'll be cross-examined. 100%.
They do. Oh,
yeah. But they don't have to give any proof. They just have to say an edus that checks all the boxes because Eidim Zayman is a chiddush. Because otherwise, why should you say you believe the second pair more than the first pair? right? So it's a chiddush that Torah said that in the case of Edom Zaymin, in this particular scenario, you believe Edom. In the case of Akasha, that's not the halacha. Let's say two Edom come into Bezdin and say Reuven killed Shimon. Another two Edom come into Bezdin and say Reuven did not kill Shimon, right? But they don't say that the first Edom were with us. They just say Reuven did not kill Shimon. That's a hakasha. Bezdin won't kill Reuven, but their Bezdin is not going to do anything to either pair of Edom either.
It's plus and minus, right?
Right. Okay. So, but Edom Zaymin, when you say Mano Yisem, that's a special chiddush that the Torah was marred by that. You go back. Okay. So that's why in this case you don't go on the Shalei b'fei Bezdin is going to be pater. So it's not that the guy. The reason why the treifa is pater is not because he's a treifa b'etzem, right? It's because his Edom's Eidos is not an Eidos because the Edom can't become Edom Zaymin.
Right, correct. Because you can't kill that guy who's dead.
Because not because you can't kill the guy who was dead. Right, because they weren't trying to kill somebody.
Because he already died.
Because he's already dead. Exactly. The Rava says, somebody who's roiva, so mishkav zachar with treifa is going to be chayiv. In other words, we say even though somebody who is a treifa is like he's dead.
Yeah.
So you should say, okay, maybe somebody who's roiva him is going to be pater because he's roiva a dead body. If you're roiva a dead body, you're not chayiv. It's disgusting, but you're not chayiv, right? So the Gemara says, roiva is a treifa chayiv is chayiv, and Rashi says because he's the isra is on the hana. He's still getting hana from the guy. Just because the guy's going to die doesn't mean he doesn't get hana. Treifa sharava, a treifa who was mizana, who was boil somebody else, mishkav zachar, b'fnei bezdin chayiv, shlei b'fnei bezdin pater. In front of bezdin he's chayiv, and now in front of bezdin he's pater. Same cheshbon as before. B'fnei bezdin chayiv, in front of bezdin saw him do it, and he's chayiv d'ksuv v'yarto rami kerecha. The pasuk says v'yarto rami kerecha. Bezdin has to get rid of the bad that they saw. Shlei b'fnei bezdin pater, but not in front of bezdin will be pater. The havila eidah shiat yachalazima. It's an eidah shiat yachalazima. The exact same cheshbon as we said before. Practic Gemara hasulamali. Why do you have to say the second case? It's the same case as before. Just one case is by murder, one case is by mishkav zachar. What's an afkamina? If the Gemara it's a treifa, it's trichlei. There's a chiddush over here that the Bais is telling us Rav is telling us by roiva it's a treifa. Why? You would think it's as if he's being mashamash a dead person and he's pater, like we said before. It's isser's atzana, and this guy is having a no, and therefore he's going to be chayiv. But a mashamish, an actual mace, Rashi says you have a cold dead body over here, that's not a hana. Okay?
It says mace, chayiv.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Since he has hana.
Since he has hana from when he's mashamish, this living, breathing person who happens to be a treifa and is going to die, as the halacha of that person.
Is no hana?
Rashi says, this is lashon of Rashi. Hang on.
On the news, the people who
Avol roiva as a mace. Somebody is roiva a mace. Lekana, there's no rasha. Aver chamimusay lachmusay v'nitztanim, because the warmth and the moisture went and it's standing and it's cold. I guess there's no hana by a cold dead body. And somebody who has hana from a cold dead body is a sick person to start with. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want to go take one little tiny side digression over here. Take a look at Taisvis, the second class Taisvis. The B'fnei Bezdin Chayev. Taisvis says that in front of Bezdin, that Bezdin saw this guy Reuven kill Shimon, or Bezdin saw the Reuven be roiva Shimon, right? He's going to be Chayev. And we said because it's B'yarto Rami Kerecha. So you're asking before about Astraz. Look, Taisvis. They saw him during the day, and they judged based on their vision what they saw. If Bezdin themselves saw him do it at night, they still need edus. The Gemara is going to say, the Gemara says in Bava Kama, so Bezdin could only kill somebody when they saw him do something wrong if they saw it in a time that they could judge at that time. But the halacha is, we saw this earlier in the Masechta, that Bezdin, you don't do din and fashion at night.
And the closing is dark, right? 5 o'clock the winter time.
Right, and then he kills Reuven, right? And he's a treifa. Right? So Bezdin can't kill him, and if there's Eidim who saw him do it, they can't come to Bezdin the next day and say it because it's Eid Shatiyach Lazim.
Yeah, but to be murderer.
Yeah. If someone wants to get away with it, then he has to, at least from Bezdin, this is how he has to do it. Yeah. Okay. Zaktamar Viter.
Why is that?
4 lines down in the white lines. Rava says, Eidim she'idu b'treifa v'hozmu ein aragin. Eidim who were made on a treifa and then they became hozmu, then they're not nerag, like we said before. Eidim treifa shehozmu neragin. But Eidim who are treifa themselves and they got hozam, they get killed. So what happened? Ruvain, 2 Eidim came into Bezdin and said that Reuven killed Shimon.
Yeah.
And now a second pair of Eidim came in and said to the first pair of Eidim, Imanu Yisem. The first pair of Eidim say, hey, we're a treifa, right?
Yeah.
They were treifa. They happened to be the first pair of Eidim happened to be treifas.
You can't kill them.
You could kill them because they wanted to kill the guy, and the guy Reuven was not a treifa.
First thing I got to do before the guy was going to kill the guy. No.
Right. Now, but that's what Rava says. Rav Ashi disagrees. And it says, Afilu ede treifa shozmu ein aragin, v'she'enan b'zayim mezaymin. Rav Ashi says, no, even if the pair of Eidim that wanted to kill the guy were treifas themselves, they're not going to get killed. Why? Because what happens if they, of the zaymimin of them, become zaymin? So this is like a couple of generations. 2 Eidim came into Bezdin. Levi and Yehuda came into Bezdin and said, we saw Reuven kill Shimon.
Right.
Okay? Levi and Yehuda happened to be treifas.
Both of them.
Yeah. Yisachar and Zavulun come into Bezdin and say, hey, Levi and Yehuda were with us. Okay? So Rava said, you kill them. You kill Levi and Yehuda. Rashi says, no, you can't kill Levi and Yehuda. Why? Because if 2 more Eidim come into Bezdin and say that the second pair of Eidim became Zaymin, right? They can't get killed because they were causing the treifas to get killed. But the treifas are already dead. The Eidim who are treifas are already dead.
It was after they married in.
It was after the Mardin, right. So they not because of after the Mardin, because they're treifas. Not because after the Mardin. The first pair of Eidim is treifas.
Right. So they killed the people who got killed. They killed the people.
They wanted to kill. Yeah. Let's diagram this out. Okay. Here.
Not like tissue box.
You don't like tissue boxes?
Not like tissue boxes.
Not like tissue boxes. Right. Okay. Here is Ruvain killed Shimon.
And now the 2 Eidim.
Okay, that's what 2 Eidim come and say, right? Okay. X. Okay, 2 Eidim come into Bezdin. Just make this the heads. Okay, 2 Eidim come into Bezdin and said, "We saw Reuven kill Shimon." These 2 Eidim are treifas. I'm upside down. I can't do this. Okay.
Why?
A test for treifa. Okay, they're treifas. Okay. So Pashtus, we would say, and this is what Rava says, that if they became 2 more pair of Eidim came and said, no, Yimanu HaYisem, you're with us, right?
You can't say them because of treifas? Treifas can't be an aid?
Treifas could be an aid.
So what's the reason why they're treifas? What was that helpless?
Because we said that if they were being made on a treifa, if this guy was a treifa, all right. So he's saying, but if they themselves were treifas, that's fine.
Okay, fine.
Rav Ashi says, no, that's not fine. If they were treifas, then these 2 pair of Eidim, who said Imanu HaYisem, right, they were trying to kill treifas. And therefore, if 2 more people Eidim come in and say, no, you were with us.
They're not treifas. The last 2 are not treifas.
The last 2 are not treifas, but they're trying to kill this pair, and this pair was trying to kill treifas.
It didn't work.
And this wouldn't work because this pair is treifas. So therefore, this Eidos is not a good Eidos. And therefore, these Eidim can't become Eidim Zaymin, and they'll be Pater. Okay, so nobody would get killed in this kind of scenario. Right? Yep. no making plans over here. Okay, so that's what Rav Ashi says, that therefore even the Eidim Treifa, if the Eidim themselves are Treifas, they will not get killed. Rava says, Shar Treifa Shaharag Chayiv. If a Shar killed a person, right? Halacha is if an animal kills a person, then the Hashar Yisakal, right? The Gambal of Yumas. Gambal of Yumas means he has to pay for it, right? Doesn't mean he has to die. But we had earlier in the Masechta, we said, "Kimisa sabaylam kach misa shar." The pasuk makes a hekesh within the misa of the shar and the misa of the baylam for a bunch of halachas. We're going to see another halacha right over here, right now, of this, and that is that Rava says if the shar that killed the person was a treifa, then chayiv, he's going to be chayiv because lamaisa he killed somebody who was the shar itself killed somebody. The fact that the shar was a treifa doesn't make a difference. He's going to be pater. He's going to be chayiv. V'shar shel adam treifa sharag pater. But if the shar belongs to a person who's a treifa, then we say he's pater. My time. Why if the shar belongs to a person who's treifa, will be pater? Because Amar Kad the pasuk says Hashar yisakel v'gam ba'al v'yimas. Shar gets skila, and also the bailim yumas. We know this yumas doesn't mean they get killed; they have to pay, but it's makish the misas of bailim and to the misas shar. Whenever we say that lu yitzur, you had this situation where the owner itself killed, he would be chayiv. Then korin be'ashar yisakal. Then you say the shar gets killed. In the case where if the owner did that very crime, he himself won't die. Then like you don't call that a shari sakal. So therefore, in this situation, since the bailim, if the bailim would kill this person, since the bailim is a treifa, the bailim wouldn't get killed. Like we said before, that a treifa that kills will not get killed. So therefore, the shar itself can't get killed also. Rav says takes it a step further. He disagrees with the first piece Rava said. Afilu shar treifa nami shar pater. He says it goes both ways. Even if the shar is a treifa and not the owner, that will also be pater. Why? My time. Even the bailim havu ptiri. Since if it was the bailim who were treifa, there would be pater. Shar nami pater. The shar also is pater. In other words, it goes both ways. And it turns out that if either one of them is a treifa, then the shar will not get killed. So if you remember, we had a funny case at the end of the Mishnah. The Mishnah said, someone sicks a dog or a snake on somebody, he's pater, because that's a grandma. However, if he holds the snake against the guy, he like jabs the tooth in, right? Then he's going to be chayiv. But Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda will be chayiv, but the Chacham say you're pater. Okay, and we looked at this. We said that why did the Chacham say you're pater? Right? Why would you be pater? He literally takes the snake, opens its mouth, and jabs the fangs into the guy's arm. Right? Why is he pater? Right? Zak the Gemara. She's about it's a kala v'chulu. Amar of Achabar Yaakov. Yaakov says, "Kishtimtza loymar." When you want to say, when you're looking into this, the Dibur of Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, eras nachash, the poison of a snake, bein shina floimed, is between its teeth. Lefichach, therefore, makish, it says on the side of the shoe, this is mashech. Mashech besayif, the person who takes the snake and jabs the fangs into the person, he's going to be chayiv because he's putting the poison into the person. The nachash pater, but the nachash, he's just a pawn over here. You know, it's like this is like the old saying.
Mind his own business.
No, not that one. Guns don't kill people; people kill people. Right? So this guy is using the nachash as his gun, so he is killing the other person. But according to the Chachamim, eres nachash mi'atzmehu meki. The eres nachash is like embedded, and he goes when he's triggered maybe, but he goes and does it. It's a separate action. You could jab the thing in, but then the nachash makes the poison erupt or expel into the guy. So there he's pater. The Rabbanan say he's pater because that's a grama. Because that's a step removed from doing the actual thing. Right. Lefichach, therefore, nachash b'skila. You're going to give skila to this nachash, just like a shari yisakal, right? If any animal that kills somebody gets killed. So the nachash killed somebody over here. But the hamashech pater, the guy who held the nachash down, he's going to be pater because he's a grama. That's the halacha. Okay. Next Mishnah, Masnisan. If somebody who hits his friend, whether it's with a stone or with a fist, and Bezdin did an evaluation, and they said, you know what, the guy's probably going to die, right? The Heikel Mamashaya, and then the guy got better. And Besdin said, oh, you know what? Looks like he's going to live after all. And then he got worse and he died. Chayiv, the Tanakama holds that the guy who hit the hitter, the assailant, is going to be chayiv.
But the guy hits someone nowadays in American law, and he hits him very hard, and 5 years later the guy dies. He goes to the murder?
In some cases, yes. I remember hearing about that in terrorism cases. That there are people in comas for a very long time, and they can't bring a capital case against a terrorist. But then, if the person dies 5 years later, then they could. Yeah. So it's similar. I don't know if it's the same criteria, but yeah, there is such a thing. I've heard this concept before. So, but over here, it's a little different situation. Over here, the point is that they first evaluate him that he's going to die. They think that means that the guy who hit him is going to get Misa. Then they said, no, he's going to get better. So now they think that the guy who hit him is not going to get Misa. Then he died. Right? So you say, oh, it means that when he hit him at the beginning, he caused the guy's death, and Tanakama holds chayiv. The guy's chayiv. However, Rabbi Nechemia argues, Rabbi Nechemia Amir Pater, Rabbi Nechemia says that the guy is going to be Pater in such a case, Raglaim Ladavar, because there's a Raglaim Ladavar, there's circumstantial evidence, or a good reason to say,
the initial blow did enough damage that it hurt him later on. Even they got better, but it hurt him later on. So saying the same case,
if this Makkah was going to kill him, he wouldn't have gotten better.
Right.
So the fact that he got better, right. Tan Rabbanan learned. As Zu Darshan Nechemia, this is what Rabbi Nechemia darshan, the following pasuk, that in Yaakov is halach b'chutz, pasuk says, by talking about the case of Mazik, right? Or somebody hit somebody else. So Yaakov is halach b'chutz, if the guy gets up and starts walking outside, al mashantai, on his walking stick, v'nika hamaka, the person who hit him will be clean, will be pater. Right. Why does the pasuk have to say v'nika hamaka? The guy's getting up, walking in the street, he's playing basketball every day, right? Why would you think that the guy, the hitter, would be chayiv misa, and you have to say v'nika hamaka? Right? Of course he's going to be pater. The guy didn't get killed. He's walking on his own steam. He's on the street. He's in the marketplace. He's biking to work. Right? Why would you think he's going to get killed? So that means v'nika hamaka is coming to teach us something. There's a drasha over here. The Torah wants us to learn. Ella must be. This is what Nechemia learns. This is a person where they evaluated him for misa. And Besdin thought the guy's going to die. The Heikel Mashaya, and then he got better. And Besdin thought, oh, he's going to live. And afterwards he got sick again, and Umesi died. It's coming to say, in that case, Shehu Pater, he's Pater. That's what v'nika hamaka is. Even though it looked like he was going to live, and he ended up dying, so still he's going to be Pater. So this is how you read the pasuk. You read the pasuk like this, according to Nechemia. In Yaakov was half b'chutz, if the guy got up, in other words, he got hit, and we thought he was going to die, and then he got up, and then he taka died, right? And then still, since he got up before, v'nika hamaka, he's going to be. What? We're saying right, and we're saying because he got better, it wasn't the actual blow, and that's what we pater. That's what the pasuk come teach you according to Nechemia. Rabbanan, hai v'nika hamaka medarshibei. Well, the Rabbanan disagree. The Rabbanan hold that in the case where the guy gets better and then he gets worse, that the makkah is chayiv if he ultimately dies. So the Rabbanan, what do they use the pasuk v'nika hamaka for? And so Gemara says, they see that you put him into jail. What does this mean? You put him into jail? You don't know what's going to happen in this situation. Reuven hit Shimon. Shimon is in the hospital in ICU. He could die, he could not die. What do you do with Reuven in the meantime? You put him in jail. You wait to see what's going to happen. And if Taka gets up, if Reuven Taka gets up, and starts walking around in the ICU, then V'nika Maka, you send the guy out of jail. That's what the pasuk of V'nika Maka is. That if the guy gets up,
if he dies later on, we say it's not from that ruling. That's what it costs.
No, that's a Nechemia. Rabbanan hold no. If he dies later on, you do. But the point is that if he gets better, if the guy gets better, then you could say he can go out of jail because it looks like the guy's not going to die. From Nechemia Chavishim Nalei, how does Rabbi Nechemia know that you put the guy in jail until you know what's going to happen? Where it says Yal from Mekayshish, he learns that from Mekayshish. What was the case of Mekayshish? Mekayshish was that the person was Mekayshish from gathering wood on Shabbos, and the Yidden didn't know what to do with him. And it says in the pasuk,
he had a straw, no?
He must have had a straw.
What?
He must have had a straw. The pasuk says, they put him in jail because it wasn't explained what to do to him. Okay? So you see from Kaishish that when you don't know whether a guy's going to get killed or not, Pashtus does not have meaning in the Gemara, that you put him in jail. That's where Rabbi Nechemia learns from Chavish, you put someone in jail.
Go in jail for 10 months? The guy's nice
to see till what would happen. I guess. First of all, you should realize. I might be going out of line over here, but I would say that you should realize that in those days, probably people who got sick. In other words, it was much faster. Today we have oxygen machines and all the things that prolong life.
Drinking king in those days.
Right. So all the things that prolong life that we have in our days, they didn't have in those days. So probably if a guy was going to die, he was going to die really quick. Today I don't know how.
Medical in coma.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to keep people alive for much longer than they had in those days. In those days, you could stab somebody with a fork, and he would get sepsis,
right.
And no antibiotics, right? And he would die a day or two later, right? It's really a very, very different kind of world then. So I don't know what Rabbanan would say in a case like today. What would be? Okay, so in any case, but so Nechemia says he learns Chavisha from Mekayshish. In fact, the Gemara of Rabbanan Nami Lo Fil Mekayshish. Rabbanan, they say they learned that you put someone in jail from the pasuk of V'nika Maka. How come they don't learn from Mekayshish? It says Mefurish that you put the guy in jail. Why do you have to need Josh of V'nika Maka? And for the Gemara, I'll tell you why the Rabbanan can't learn from Mekayshish. Mekayshish Braktalahu. The Mekayshish, we knew that he is Chayim Misa. Moshe lo haviyada katlei b'mai, and Moshe didn't know whether or not to give him skila, streifa, herek, chenek. He didn't know how to kill him, but he knew that the guy deserves to get right because the pasuk says machaleha meisimas. But they didn't know which misa it should be. So now that's why Moshe Rabbeinu put him into jail. But in the case of Hilafuke Hai, to exclude this kind of case, in a case like this where the guy hits somebody and now the guy's sick and we don't know if he's going to survive or not, the person who hit him might walk out free, might get killed. We don't know one way or the other. He's not for sure going to get killed. So how can you from Mekayshish? Who says you put somebody like this, who maybe is totally innocent of murder, at least he's still maybe in Russia, but saying he's innocent of murder, he's not going to get killed. How can we put him into jail? That's why the Rabbanan say you need the pasuk of V'nika Maka. In fact, the Gemara of Rabbi Nechemia, how does Rabbi Nechemia going to learn out this halacha? Because the you have the same problem according to Rabbi Nechemia. If according to Rabbi Nechemia, he's learning it from Mekayshish, well, the Mekayshish they knew he was going to die, right? So how could So the Gemara says Yal from Megadif. Rabbi Nechemia learns that from Megadif. Megadif was the person was Mevarach Hashem by the case of the daughter, the son of what was the name? Kasbi Asur, was it? I think it was that he got into a fight and it was Mevarach Hashem and they didn't know what to do with him. So over there, they didn't know if he was Barak they didn't know if he was Chayim Misi even. They didn't know what the Einish was for this. The Chavshu, and they put him into jail to find out whether or not he gets punished and what it is. The pasuk says, Rashi says, the difference is like this. By the Mekayshish, by the Chil Shabbos case, the pasuk says, where they put him in in jail. Because it wasn't explained what should be done to him. In other words, they knew something's going to be done to him, but they didn't know what should be done to him. If the pasuk is, they put him in jail, just to explain to them al pi Hashem what should happen. They had no idea what should happen right now. Right? So they were waiting to find out the guidance on this. So that's why he learned from the Gadif. Struck the Gemara. So what about Rabbanan? Why didn't Rabbanan just learn from the Gadif and not learn out from? You don't need Mekaishish and you don't need V'nika Maka. When it says Rabbanan Megadif for Rosh Hashanah, Megadif was a Rosh Hashanah. You can't learn out from Megadif. And the Gemara is going to bring a Raya, that Megadif was a Rosh Hashanah. The Tanya learned in a Brisa. Yedeya Hayim Moshe Rabbeinu knew Shemakaishish b'Misa, that the Mekaishish was Chayim Misa. Shneimar, the pasuk says Mechalaleho Meisumas. Pasuk says by Shabbos, someone's Mechal Shabbos is going to die. He didn't know with which Misa the person would get killed. Remember the pasuk says, it wasn't explained what should be done, like we just said a minute ago. And Megadif, he didn't know what they didn't know. It says that to explain al pi Hashem. It doesn't say not to explain what to do. It's to explain. They Pasha didn't know. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know at all whether he was Chayiv Misa, or he was not Chayiv Misa. So therefore you have a raya that you have a raya. What?
He knew that the guy wasn't
I'm not following. But the point is that Moshe didn't know if he'd be chayiv at all. There's a very, very interesting thesis over here. Look in the second thesis. Thesis says that by the Mekaishish, the Chil Shabbos, right? Moshe Rabbeinu knew that he would die, but he didn't know that what Misa it should be. In fact, Thesis Akasha, what do you mean he didn't know what Misa it should be? In fact, Thesis, the Misa Stam Cheneki, Stam Misa, we said is Chenek. That's the lowest of the Misas, according to the Halacha. And Stam Misa is Chenek. Well, the Torah doesn't say what it is, it's Chenek. That's why Eshes, for example, is Chenek. So he knew, right? But Moshe Rabbeinu had a svara. He said, I think this should be like Avodah Zarah, which Avodah Zarah is skila. Why? Mechal Shabbos b'fer Hesi, someone who's Mechal Shabbos b'fer Hesi in public is the kofer be'ikr. He's like a kofer be'ikr. The kofer b'ma'aser bereishis. He's being kofer in ma'aser bereishis. But we say zeichel ma'aser bereishis and Kiddush on Friday night is the main. Shabbos is linking us back all the way to Shivas Mei Bereishis. Right? And since this guy was being kofer on Shabbos, Mechal Shabbos b'fer Hesi, it's like he's being kofer be'ikr, who created Shivas Mei Bereishis and rest. Shisha Yemei Bereshis, and then rested on the seventh. So therefore, it's like Avodah Zarah. Okay, so now fracting more like this. So that's the bright side. Now we know what the Rabbanan hold, and we know what Rabbi Nechemia holds, right? And that's very clear. They have two malachim on the sugya over here, because the question of what the drush of V'nika Maka is.